Look out, Chevy Cobalt, an all-new, larger and more refined compact vehicle is now in showrooms. This is the all-new Chevy Cruze.
And you know what, Lacey? General Motors Canada says that this is the most important vehicle launch in the company's history. And the president and CEO of General Motors Canada told us that they really needed to change.
The new General Motors is about the world's best vehicles. It's about sustainability, not just for ourselves, but for our employees, our dealers, our suppliers, our partners in the union, all of the constituents. It's about creating sustainability that allows us to win not just today, but throughout the future going forward.
Recent achievements have given GM some much-needed optimism. Recently, they won the AJAC Canadian Car of the Year award. Ever since coming out of bankruptcy in the United States, the new GM is much more humble. They've really put a lot of focus on their product and putting the needs of their customers first. I think this new direction is really starting to pay off.
You know what, General Motors is quite wise here. They know that almost 25% of all of the vehicles sold in Canada are compact cars, so they decided to go bigger. Actually, the back seat and the trunk basically qualify as a mid-sized car in the United States. The only car that's bigger in this class is the new Jetta, and it's only by 1 square foot in the trunk. So virtually both the Jetta and the Cruze are tied for the largest in this class. General Motors has had success with this approach in the past with the Chevy Equinox. Basically, the plan is to give buyers an almost mid-sized vehicle, but charge them compact vehicle prices. This Chevy Cruze might be new to North America, but it's sold in over 60 countries worldwide, where it has been refined and improved before its arrival here on our shores.
Styling is very cohesive. In fact, I think it looks better in person than it does in pictures. The rear has a muscular stance that makes the car look solid. Wheel sizes range from 16 to 17 inches and come in a variety of attractive styles. The biggest advantage to building a larger compact car is interior room. Both the front and back seats offer plenty of space for an average Canadian family, and the trunk is very roomy. Plus, the back seats fold flat.
The base Cruze is called LS, and it starts at $14,995 with a 6-speed manual or available 6-speed automatic, making the Cruze cheaper than the best-selling Honda Civic base model. The LT Turbo starts at $19,495, that's the car we have here, and the top LTZ comes in at $24,780. There's also an RS package that includes sportier-looking interior trim, sport suspension, and larger wheels.
The driver's seat has an amazing amount of adjustments. They're very supportive, and the foam they use is comfortable. Standard tilt and telescopic steering also make for a very relaxing drive. The dash is framed with silver accents and is offered with either a fabric or soft touch panel, providing a nice contrast. A lot of attention to noise insulation makes the interior a very quiet and comfortable space. This, along with the large interior, makes owning this compact car no compromise. The base model comes with power windows, keyless entry, and auxiliary jack, but buyers will have to pay extra to include Bluetooth connectivity and USB integration.
Now, the long wheelbase of this Cruze and the attention given to sound insulation plus the tuning of the suspension provides a very smooth and quiet interior, similar to what we experienced with the Chevy Equinox, probably one of the quietest vehicles in its class. Handling is very good, and the electric power steering is precise and tracks down the road well, which isn't always the case with other companies' electric power steering units. Kia and Hyundai should take note. Drivers will welcome the comfortable seats, the quiet and sophisticated ride over their long daily commutes. The Cruze comes standard with class-leading 10 airbags, traction and stability control. But here's some good news. If you opt for the turbo engine, it runs on regular grade gasoline. Now, you can judge the Cruze on acceleration and handling and performance, but the reality is people that buy a car like this are commuting in it to work and back, running around, going to the grocery store, taking kids to hockey practice. And on those fronts, when you're sitting in the seat and you're stuck in traffic for an hour, you want to be in a comfortable car. This car is comfortable. Plus, you add in the size that affords families a bigger vehicle. It really makes sense to get into a Cruze, because if you've only got $20,000, $25,000 to spend, you might as well get a bigger car. This is proof that General Motors is thinking their products through, and they really are heading in the right direction.
The base Cruze comes standard with a 1.8-liter four-cylinder engine and 136 horsepower. The star of the Cruze lineup is the 1.4-liter turbo four-cylinder with 138 horsepower and 148 pound-feet of torque. GM predicts that 70% of buyers will choose the turbo, and we recommend it. Even head-to-head with the top competitors in this class, the acceleration is very smooth, and the turbo shows no turbo lag or any other turbo tendencies for that matter, which means that the driver gets all the power that they need with the efficiency they demand. This turbo, when equipped with the automatic, is rated at 8.5 liters per 100K in the city and only 5.5 on the highway. Good numbers for a bigger car. Driving this Cruze, the one thing that really stands out when you compare it to other cars in this class, like the Civic and the Elantra, is just how unbelievable it is on the highway. Very smooth and incredibly quiet. So Zach, is the new GM on the right track?
Absolutely. This vehicle is such a pleasure to drive. First and foremost, we talked about the size. You're getting almost mid-size dimensions for a compact price. The turbo engine, I really suggest you try this. It's really powerful, makes the car feel excellent, and there's absolutely zero turbo lag. Also, the interior is nicely finished, it's smooth, and it's quiet. It's everything you would really want in a commuter vehicle. On the downside, the only negative that I can see about the Cruze is you start adding in options and say you go for the LTZ model, it's getting expensive. You can easily kit one of these out to about 27 grand. What do you like and not like about it?
You know, Zach, the first thing that really stood out for me on the Cruze is how great it is on the highway. I mean, smooth, quiet, it's just amazing. It's got a wonderful steering feel to it, especially when you compare it to some of the competitors. And all the touch points have a really great texture to them. I really love how the steering wheel feels in my hands. And another nice thing is the turbo engine runs on regular gasoline. Now, on the downside, this is maybe a good and a bad, but if you're in the market for a small, compact car, this thing drives bigger.
Yeah. Now, you know what? We talked about this vehicle. Is it going to be a success? General Motors has cracked the top 5 for a couple of months in a row of overall car sales in Canada with the new Cruze.
And as I mentioned before, it won the AJAC Canadian Car of the Year award, so I think they're definitely on the right track.
How does the new Chevy Cruze stack up to the competition? See all the reviews at drivingtelevision.com. After the break, can you actually save a ton of money on gas just by changing your tires?
For every 10% reduction in rolling resistance, a tire becomes 1 to 2% more efficient.
And it's like no summer camp you've ever been to.
Now, what we're learning here today is that the best way to drive fast on snow and ice is to actually let the car slide around.